So how's everybody doing? So I got this set up here, this LUA trigger for this light. When you enter the zone, it removes the cover and exposes the light, and then as soon as you leave the zone, it covers the light back up. So I'll show you the zone. The zone is here. The zone is here. But you can make the zone like this if you wanted to. You can make it a little skinny zone. You can make a bunch of them so that as you drive through, it does something different. So that's the LUA trigger. And the way this is object is set up, there's two objects here. There's this box with these little Egyptians, right? And there's a cover. So the way the LUA trigger is set up is when you enter the trigger, it'll hide the cover. Oops. Once you enter, it'll hide it. And then when you leave, it'll unhide it. So to make a LUA trigger, you go to your this thing here, create object, and you go to this here, BeamNG, and you pick LUA trigger. And to create a LUA trigger, you just hit the left mouse button and then press escape. And once you press escape, well, you'll see you can scale this and do whatever you want with it. Now to get it to run the code that this one has, you'll have to copy this from my description and paste it. In the inspector window for the LUA trigger, you'll see this LUA function. It'll be a little small little sliver of a spot that you can click on. And then when you open this, it'll open this rather, and now I had to change it because it wasn't working. So originally right here it said find object in scene tree cover, but it wasn't finding it. So what I did instead is I selected the cover and I said copy ID, and then instead of it saying cover like it did, I just pasted the ID. You know, that's kind of like the MAC address, you know, whatever, it's a unique number. Everything's got a unique number in the scene. Now that worked. But yeah, I'll just, basically what it says here is the name of the function. You know, you can name it Pink Flamingo. It doesn't matter what you name it. Then you got local object equals, basically it's saying find object. This thing's task is to find this object in the scene tree. Once it finds it, if object, meaning if it finds it, then if data event equals enter, which means you entering it, the data event would be you entering the box, then object set hidden equals true. Else if data event equals exit, then object set hidden false, and then end, and then it returns the trigger, returns to the name, returns back to the top basically, so that it can loop. And that's basically what that's saying there. But I'll copy this and paste it so you can just easily copy and paste it. But just remember, whatever object you hide, it'd be easier to just copy the ID than it try to find it in there, because it didn't find it when I named it. It wouldn't find it for some reason, but it did find the ID. Now that's all fine, that's all, good and all, but what if you want to do something a little different? Well, let's say you want that red light to spell something like "you suck" or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking crazy stuff, I don't know what kind of scenarios y'all people got in mind, but I'm sure there's probably a lot worse things you could probably say on some of them. Let's get the light. Let's get the texture for the light in here. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let's get it. Where is it at? Got to go hunt for it now. Oh. There it is. Alright, so this is a 1024 by 1024. What I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate it. And then I'm going to change the canvas size. Canvas size. The width will be 4096. And then the duplicate, I'll move it to the next little cell here. And then I'll duplicate it and move it to the next little cell there. Because the way this will work, it'll be like a flip book. It'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll just go through all. It'll go through all 4 of them, one after the other. You could have 200 and something of these if you wanted to spend that kind of time. I don't. But the most I did was 32 for a fire flicker effect. That took a while. So the first frame, there's nothing. Just it's going to be the red. And then the second one, guess I should make this let me hide the third one so I don't get confused. you know, let's just say I took the time to do all that, but I'm not doing all that. We'll just do it like this. All right. Now we need to re-export this, and we'll just overwrite the one that's already in there. Now back to the game. We got to go to that texture, and then we got to go to Material Editor, open that texture. Now we got to go to Animate, tell it to be Sequence, and the timing is what's important. Frames per second is not so much important, it's the frames. This is a timing thing, and I think it's like 0.025. That's not that. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out at some point. 0.025. It appears it's going the wrong way. It's going the wrong way. Oh, I see. UVs are damn sideways. I gotta go back to Blender to fix that. UVs are in the wrong direction. So for this object, UVs rotated. You know what? Let me just unwrap them. It's kind of hard to know which. There we go. That's what you got to do. So the timing is 0.25 for 4 cells. And it's different for whatever resolution you use. Like if you use 512 by 4096, then it's like double that. It just all depends. It's a neat little thing, I guess. But I'll tell you what. I'll just share this, right? I'll share the I'll share the whole level. Well, like I'll zip up what I got here, so that you should be able to. All you should have to do. All you should have to do. Hold on. Let me make sure I save my texture changes here. Alright, so I'll save level, and then I'll exit the game. Now all I'm doing here is in the user folder here, and levels, small grid. This only contains the things that I just did. Right? It's just the stuff that I just made. But I'll zip this here. And then all you have to do is when you get the zip, open the zip file. So you shouldn't have anything here, but if you do, remove it. In levels here, in the user folder in levels, just if there's a small grid, move it out of there and replace it with this one. And whenever you load small grid, you should have what I set up just now in there already to look at and everything. But I'll also go ahead and save the LUA trigger so that you got that also. So like I'll just reload it. Everything should be in place. I don't know. It ain't working now. Because it gave it a new ID. it loaded, for some reason, it gave it a new ID. That's all it was. I don't know why it gives it new IDs each time. But yeah, that's a different ID than what it was a minute ago. I don't know, I'm going to have to look that up. Yeah, because if I just tell it the name, cover.dae, unless because there's two covers in here, it's causing an issue. When I tell it just to use the cover from the scene tree, it doesn't activate. Damn it. Shit. Yeah, see, it doesn't pick it up. It's not giving me an error. So the only way I know to do it is use its the thing there. Which that sucks if that's how it's got to be. Literally. Maybe that's why it's not. I don't know. What's PID? Oh well, if I got the damn cover hidden. Nope, that ain't gonna do it. be damned. That's it. You got to name it. You got to name the, not the name of the DAE. You got to name, put the name here for it. So that's it. Let's save and reload, and we'll see if we got it right. If it'll load again, and it'll work. Yep, cool. Alright, great. Now we got it. Cool, man, cool. So, going to the level, small grid. We'll just compress that to a zip file, and we share. And uncompress the zip file, copy the folder, and paste it right there in levels to use it. This is not a level packed as a mod, so don't put the zip file in the mod folder. It will not work.